Hello, I'm Charlotte Kiri and I welcome our viewers in Kenya and around the globe to the Newtons Show, whereby we get to have an in-depth discussion on science and technology, business, arts and culture, and politics. But before then, let's have the news-making headlines. The winners of the BBC Young Musician competition in London unite in a plea for all primary school children to be given free music lessons. The Red Fourth Choir, a very big sensation in Kenya, finally steps on stage. Is music a threat to the youth? Researchers say that kids are receiving about 35 references to substance abuse for every hour of music they listen to. The BBC Music Competition has given an exposure to children such that they tend to have more happiness, which is unrelated to money and social status. A group of young singers who became a sensation in the last 1 year after they released a hit song which was originally sung by Sauti Sol known as Kuliko Jana. The Red Fourth Chorus will be performing 3 concerts in the Kenya National Theatre, and they have become this sensation that has been uplifting the youth in the music industry. Teenagers listen to an average of 2.5 hours of music per day, and according to the statistics done by the Pediatrics and Adolescents Medicine, say that children get to be exposed to substance abuse every single hour. In a bit, we're going to unpack this issue that music is a threat to the youth. Welcome back, my viewers, and now we're going to talk about how music is a threat to the youth. Does music really affect our youths right now? Although music lacks the visual elements in film, adolescent exposure to music is much more frequent. And whether this matters, it's still an open question: is music a threat to the youth? Keep this conversation going. Let's tweet at CharlotteToo, and also with the hashtag The Newtons Show. Let's make this show trend with the question: is music a threat to the youth? As a musician, also like to get views from you. Is your music a threat to the youth? And as a youth, the kind of music that you've been hearing, basing on the throwbacks until now, is there a transition in the music industry? And is there some change in the music industry? And is there a threat to the youth?
My name is Timothy Zawadi. I'm a fourth-year student at Daystar University pursuing electronic media, and I play the piano as a part-time thing, but I love doing it. As far as I can remember, there is no day my parents ever discouraged me about playing the piano, and ever since I started back in 2005, they've always been supportive. I think they even got one keyboard for me at home to be doing practices, so I think they've been one of my best supporters so far in my career. The fun I want to go with my music journey is I've always been thinking like now that I'm not going to major so much in music, like to make it my full-time job. I was thinking like when I start doing my journalism work, I need to come up. I'm coming up with a studio which is being produced definitely. But then in the studio, I want to create some. I want to bring up this to support young talents, which is I will be like through creating records and other things. So I just want to establish a greater studio, which will be encouraging me to pursue my music career as well as much as I focus on journalism. It's an easy instrument. It's one of the instruments that is considered. I think it's a crucial instrument considered that in music, if you miss piano, it's like you're missing the whole sweetness of music. So the reason why I chose piano is because I wanted to create the sweetness in music, because it brings that the musicality in music is brought by a piano. So that's why I chose the piano, because I want to be sweet in music and produce the sweetness in music. Yeah. So.
Welcome back, my viewers, and for those who are joining us, this is the New Turns show whereby we are talking about music, which is part of art, which is part of the arts and culture. And now we're going to have some opinion leaders who will share on this question: is music a threat to the youth? Right now, I'm going to interview Evelyn Kwamboka, who is a lecturer at Daystar University. Evelyn, welcome. Do you think that music is part of what causes a rot in our younger generation?
No, I don't think. This is because people have a different definition of music, but according to me, music is supposed to educate. So it depends on the kind of music that people listen to or people allow children to listen to, because we have different types of music, and what matters is the content. Of course, the quality is also something that people should listen to, but the content matters very much. So if children are allowed to listen to music that are very much probably an immoral kind of message, then they should not be allowed. So I don't think music makes children rot. It should be educating them, and it should make the children have that time of relaxing, and it should also help the children actually rise emotionally into the right path.
What then is your take on the government making the kids to embrace music from a younger age?
Okay, according to the studies that I've made, music is very important, and this is because of the role it plays to someone's life. And that's why they say music is life. And by the way, when God created human beings, He created human beings with music. So now, for the children to embrace music from their tender age, it is because it is an art. And children, if they grew with music, probably, let me give you an example. If a child was playing piano, this child plays piano, and we are told that music actually is therapeutic. It can make a child to be more bright, even to be more attentive in class. And this is because music opens up their brains.
And would you advise a recent high school graduate to purely take music as a course?
I will. A lot. There's a very big future in music. Personally, I did music in high school, I did it in college, I'm now teaching music, and I'm earning. Don't I have a bright future? And let me tell you, maybe probably it's because of this, the kind of countries that we come from, developing countries, whereby people have not learned the importance of music so that they can embrace it. Other countries out there, musicians or artists are the ones who are highly actually earning. So I would advise the child who really wants, who has passion in doing music, to continue doing music. But it depends on the kind of music that child they choose to go for.
And there has been a lot of controversies concerning the frequent bans by the KFCB chairman Ezekiel Mutua concerning some video songs which has been released by some of our youths. Do you think this is fair to the youths, and what's your view on this?
View is, okay, some of them can be banned, especially if they're immoral. They bring out that immoral kind of message. Then for me, I would go for it. TV bands, video music or music played in videos that brings out a message that is not educating our own people, then I'll go for it.
Thank you so much for your time, Evelyn. It was a pleasure having you. Thank you so much, our opinion leaders, for giving your insights and being part of our show. And now, my viewers, thank you for being tuned to the New Turns show, and don't forget tweeting at Charis Charlotte 2, and also let's make this show trend by using the hashtag #NewTurns_show. Thank you, my viewers in Kenya and around the globe, for tuning into the New Turns show and making us talk about this topic as music a threat to the youth. So many think that music is not a threat to the youth, depending on what type of music the kid is listening to. The content here is different, varying from singers, but then parents should be there listening to what our kids are listening to, because music is also therapeutical, and facing out music is something that cannot bring out growth to the youth. You cannot make them stop music, because if that's their way of earning money, then let them be. But then let's try and focus on what will make us grow and what will make an impact to the people. Is it positive, and does it bring any good changes to the society? Well, I thank you, my dear viewers, for tuning in to the New Turns show and your opinions on social media at Charis Charlotte 2. So let's continue this conversation at the same Twitter handle and making this show trend at hashtag #NewTurns_show. And also, don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment down below. Until next time, I've been your host, Charlotte Kiri, and this is the New Turns show.